Random songs stuck in my head again. Random songs stuck in my head again. All right. Just a little late on the uptake, guys. Oh, I can only share up to 10 now instead of 15. Bah humbug. Guys, do me a favor and share the live. I would much appreciate it. All right, let me grab my book out and we will get cracking. Kick my boots off. So last time we read we read another one of Richard Bach's books, Illusions. We finished Illusions last time. Replays are over on YouTube at Move With Change. I've got 2 books, actually 3 books, but we're not starting the big one yet. This one I've been wanting to read for a long while, but it might have to be something that we do over in the community Discord, because keeping up with this whole thing, I feel like, is something that we need to actually have a space for rather than do it on social media. So I have 2 other ones. One called Remember the Light and one called The Day the Sun Spoke. And this is a collection of short stories, while this is a single story. That one. Remember the Light. Woo boy, it's cold. For those of you who are new here and are wondering who the hell is this person that you're seeing, hello, my name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being, and I am your Shenanigans shaman, so beware. I'm also the owner of Move With Change, LLC, and we are building what we call our CAYA Sangha. And actually, it's expanded to our CAYA community. We've moved over. Hey, Frank, how are you? Brightest blessings to you as well. We have moved over to Discord. We have a public CAYA community Discord space. So if you've been watching any of the stuff going on here, if you've been trolling the content, right, and dipping in and out of the lives, and you want to get more involved, there is now a public space where we can interact with each other, share resources, and you can get content directly to you rather than having to shuffle through all of the social media things. What does that mean when I say shaman? Shenanigans shaman? Your shenanigans shaman. A shaman is a medicine worker. A shaman is somebody who embodies their particular type of both healing and magic and medicine. So my particular type of medicine is shenanigans. One of the most powerful things that I have used, tools that I have in my toolbox for self-healing, for growth, for falling in love with myself again, for forgiveness, for myself and others, all of this is play. If you can weave play into what you're doing, this is why they say laughter is the best medicine. It's not just an anecdote. It is legit. It is legit. I swear, I am going to be 40 this year, and despite the dark circles around my eyes today, I typically don't look it. Thank you, Ashley. Hey! And I blame that on how much I fucking laugh, on how silly we are around here. I say we, but, you know, this brain and all the pirates up in here. Thank you guys for the follow. So yeah, we have finally put together the CAYA community Discord space. So just so you guys are aware, this is how it works. We've got a Discord server. You can find the link for that Discord server on Patreon. You can find the link for my Patreon in my bio. So patreon.com/move with change. You can go there. You can sign up for a membership level if you want to. You can see what each of the membership levels include. There are now expanded membership levels, which is really cool. So you can get in on whatever level works for you, and you can shift if you need to. But to join the CAYA community server is completely free. anyone and everyone could go to that front gate. What happens on my Patreon? My Patreon has the membership tiers for the CAYA Sangha. So we have a CAYA community space, and that's the public space. And this outer ring of that public space we call the CAYA courtyard. This is the courtyard on the outside of the temple. Lead paint police. This is multiple levels of membership to a community space, a mindfulness community space, an online community space. There is free access to certain pieces of it, and the more access, the more deep you want to get in this work, in these classes and coaching and that kind of stuff, that's available to you. But those tiers are there so that you have the flexibility to get the things that you want out of it or not. If you have any questions about any of those tiers that you see over there, you can always just send me a message. On the Patreon is the link to the Discord server. You can get there for free. And in the CAYA courtyard, you will still get extras, fun things beyond just the live free classes that I offer here, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. And Kick, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch is where you will see me live. But you will only see me live in those places. If you want more interaction, the chat space, the sharing resources, we do mudras and bhakti bites, we do yoga flows on Friday mornings. I will post the info about those, more info, to the Discord. Rather than fighting the algorithm, this is a space where you can come get everything CAYA and interact with all things CAYA without having to pay a thing. Now, if you want to get deeper in there, you can absolutely do that. Okay, so lead paint police, I'm going to go ahead and mute you because I've been really clear about what this is, and just stating your disagreement with it is doesn't make it different. And we ask that everybody approach this space with curiosity and willingness. So if you are curious and you want to ask questions, feel free to ask questions. I'm happy to chat about if you ask questions. But if you ask a question and then take my answer and turn it into something different, we're not going to have that conversation. That's called gaslighting, and we don't do that in here. We approach each other with curiosity and willingness. We practice radical inclusion and revolutionary kindness, but we also practice personal responsibility. And we expect everyone to show up with a certain level of maturity and responsibility to be able to respond respectfully to each other without having to cast judgment, lay blame, put anybody down, right? We are not playing ego games around here. Thanks, Ashley. So yeah, I think I was answering your question there, Danny, about what happens on the Patreon. The only other thing that happens on the Patreon there is actually a blog that I'm putting together. I have been told for the last year that I need to tell my story, and that you guys want to hear more of like what got me here and the stages that got me to where I am in my personal practice, in my professional practice, and in my life in general. So that blog is going to be over there. To be honest, we might just move that into the Discord too, because the Discord space is like, once you're on that platform, all the things CAYA are there. And it's really cool because we've also set up some fun stuff. Like if you're a member on the Discord, you will get alerts every single time I either post something or go live without having to go through, like I have TikTok, message notifications off, but not the Discord, because I don't want to hear every single thing that this app has to do. But from my CAYA community, I totally want to hear all the things that have to go on in there, right? So you can kind of pick and choose your alerts within there as well. So anyway, I'm really excited about it. Sorry for taking all that time to just chat about that, but I really, really am excited. We spent much of the day today playing with the Discord space. Ashley, will you please come in the Discord? Also, the links for all the free classes, the links for the Zoom classes, once you get into the levels of membership that get you to our CAYA practice sessions or our CAYA group coaching, right? Or the private coaching, links and stuff, all of it is streamlined in the Discord. So even if you don't have a single dollar to commit to membership, come over to the Discord anyway. Again, follow the link in my bio, the Patreon link, and you will see the join our Discord link. And it should If any of you go do that and you click that link and it doesn't let you in for free, let me know. I will switch the link. Because it's supposed to just get you there, but I now remember, I'm like, oh, but there's another page for the membership levels, and maybe I didn't do that. So just let me know. I'm uncrossing wires that have been crossed in my brain. Discord confuses me. I know. I was really worried about it too. I hate doing yet another platform, but the reality is this creates a hub for all that stuff. And what I really, really love about it is that as we create more community, as we cultivate more community and bring more of us together who are already teaching and coaching and doing these things, we can use a shared platform to do that. So hopefully we can bring other coaches and other practitioners and other teachers into this same space. And so it won't just be a hub for this guy. It'll be a hub for all y'all as well. Yes. And we have, so in our Discord, we have a little team of Harmony handlers, and our Harmony handlers will help you get situated in case you have any questions or are struggling with any part of Discord. Yeah. So anyway, I came here to read you guys a book. It's called Remember the Light. It's one of my favorite books. I would say it's my favorite book from childhood, but I didn't find it in childhood, actually. It's a kid's book. But I found it, I want to say maybe 10 years ago now, 10, 15 years ago, when I was helping a friend help her friend, who was an elderly woman who used to have been a teacher, a career middle school, elementary school teacher, a career elementary school teacher, and librarian. And she had multiple copies of this book because the school had gotten rid of it. It was like, oh, we don't need it in stock anymore. And so she had multiple copies and was able to gift me one. This is out of print. So I really like the extra special, like this one's out of print. And of course, some kid I know somewhere decided to draw on mine, but of course that just makes it uniquely ours, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I mean, Ryan. The whole point of that CAYA community is I don't want everybody staring at my ugly mug, right? It's not my face y'all are here for. It's us. It's together. It's mutual. It's collective. And that's what we need to be doing. And I'm already talking to other creators here on TikTok about doing that. So I'm really excited. Okay, you guys want to hang out for this book? Again, it's called Remember the Light. Look, there's Discord popping off right now. Ha-ha! Look, Ashley, I love you. Just pop on over there. Okay, hold on. Let me wait a second because Discord's blowing up like people just left this live to go add Discord. So maybe I should be mindful of that, I guess, if I tell everybody to go do something and then I should hang out for a second before I start reading. Okay, so, hey, Ashley. So like I was saying before, there's this one, Remember the Light. We're going to read that today. And then I also recently came across this one in a thrift store. Let's do this. The Day the Sun Spoke. Now, this one I've seen before and I've heard the stories before, but I'd never actually had a copy. And it's really, really beautiful. So the back, maybe we'll read some of these next time tomorrow. But the back of this one says, when you accept in your heart what you know to be true, you will always find your way, and light will always return. The Day the Sun Spoke is a collection of short stories written exactly as one would read them aloud. Accompanied by beautiful hand-drawn illustrations, these tales are intended to be shared with all who are open to embracing the light of a new earth. May the light that shines within each of our hearts be awakened as we journey through these pages. So, I want to share this one. And FYI, CAYA Sangha members, I'm probably going to actually start doing this in the CAYA Sangha because there's much bigger books that I want to work through, like The Education of Oversoul 7. This requires a, playlist of chapters. Thanks, babe! So, let's get cracking on this. My son's in MMA. He's probably going to come out in just a little bit because I've been chatting away with you guys. Thank you all to those of you who popped over and joined the Discord. Thank you. Again, if you have any questions about that or membership levels or anything, you can either reach out for help in the Discord. There's the Harmony Help Desk and Harmony Handlers that will help. Otherwise, info is on my Patreon now. If you have any questions, too, you can just message me directly. You're on TikTok. Okay. So this one's called Remember the Light. It is by Mary Pat Fischer and Donna Janis. And it makes me cry every single time. So let's see if I can get through it without tearing up. A story, a picture story for all ages. Remember the light. And the dedication is simply for you, that your light may grow. In the land of light, beauty was everywhere. The beings of light lived their joy in a sea of golden love. The queen of this land had eyes like 1,000 stars, and her heart shone like the sun. But the queen knew that beyond the land of light, there was a dark and unhappy place. Its people no longer saw the beauty or felt the love around them. The queen felt their unhappiness as if it were her own. The queen's counselors suggested a plan. Someone must travel to that unhappy land to remind the people of their love and beauty. But this mission will be very dangerous, they warned, for in the darkness of the other side, it is easy to forget the light. For this dangerous mission, the queen chose a small child named Gloria, for she had the brightest heart of all. Hey, Anthony, thank you. Oh, hold on. Can't forget the page of Gloria. With her big, fat, bright heart. Gloria's courage and love were greater than her fear. The queen explained the mission to her. Not far away, there is a world born of this one. The beings there have forgotten that they too are beings of light. They may soon be swallowed by their own darkness. You must help them remember who they are. Blessing Gloria with her own light, the queen assured her, no matter what happens, we will not forget you. The next thing Gloria knew, she was tumbling through a dark tunnel. Her body became heavier and heavier. Finally, Gloria felt herself being pulled out of the tunnel. Hands held her upside down and spanked her. She opened her mouth to speak of her mission, but all that came out was a cry. She was so ashamed that her light dimmed a little. Gloria then found herself alone in a box. She tried to say, "Please, be with me," for she had never been alone before. But she could only make strange sounds with no meaning. Her heart hurt so much that it started shrinking. Hands picked up Gloria, moved her from one box to another, changed her clothes, and sometimes hugged her. But often she was left alone in a box, crying from loneliness. As the years passed, Gloria learned to speak the language of this land. But by the time she could speak, her memory of the land of light had faded until it was just beyond her reach. Whenever she saw rays of sunlight streaming forth, she felt the call of the light within her heart. but she could not quite remember why she loved it so. Nothing else reminded Gloria of the land of light. The people here were much grayer, for their thoughts were thoughts of darkness. They had surrounded themselves with ideas that their world was dark and dangerous. And because the people believed it, it was true. Gloria's parents were kind people, but they too believed that the world was a dark place. The best you can do, they taught her, is to smile and pretend that everything is okay. Many people carried false smiles on their faces, even though their hearts were heavy. Thank you, Joe, for the follow. Even the children were unhappy in this land. They always crushed Gloria's happiness when she tried to share it. When she gathered flowers for her teachers, the other children called her mean and ugly names. Sadness spread through Gloria's heart until her light almost disappeared. More and more she kept to herself. Her only true friends were the great trees in the woods. Back in the land of the light, the queen knew that something must be done to save Gloria. But nobody offered to go to the rescue. They were afraid that they too would forget their light and be swallowed by the darkness. One day, a dull-colored little hermit thrush came to the queen. He was a bird who was rarely seen, for he liked to spend his days in the woods. There he poured out his joy in song, a song like a waterfall of golden light. The thrush begged the queen, "Please, send me. I can fly quickly through the darkness using my song to carry the light. I can sing to Gloria. Perhaps my song will help her remember the light." The queen gave him her blessing. "Go with love, dear thrush." After flying a great distance with darkness all around, the thrush found Gloria alone in the woods, crying. Hiding among the trees, he began to sing to her. He poured out his songs of love and beauty. Through her sadness, Gloria heard the song. She felt it warming her heart like the rays of the sun. Her heart began to fill with an ocean of golden light, and she could hear echoes of something she could almost remember. Gloria's light began to glow again as the thrush sang to her. Every day she came back to listen, and every day he sang until his strength was almost gone. Knowing that he must save enough song to fly back through the darkness, the thrush revealed himself. Seeing Gloria's surprise at his drab appearance, the thrush said, "It is not I who am beautiful, but that of which I sing. You will find the beauty of the light in your own heart." The thrush continued, "Don't be fooled by what you see. The light is in all beings. You will find it hidden in their hearts if you look with the eyes of love. I must go now, but the light is always with you." If you've ever heard a thrush sing, you'll never see the bird. You'll be walking out in the woods, and you'll hear this, I think they described it really well, like a waterfall of golden light. It's this, like, I don't even know if I can even come close, but it's like this sort of sound. Your favorite song, you know what I'm talking about? It is, I didn't know what kind of bird that was, and it was always one of those magical things that I felt like it was fairies or something in the woods making this beautiful, just, yeah. And that's what, when I found this book, I was like, oh my God, it must be the thrush. And then I actually had to look it up, and yep, sure enough, like a waterfall of golden light. As the thrush flew away, Gloria began to cry. Just then, a bully appeared. "Cry, baby," he called. She wanted to run and hide, but the thrush's words came to her. She made herself look at the bully. His face was twisted in pain, and when she looked deeper, she could tell that his heart was hurting even more than hers. Instead of shrinking, her heart opened in love for him. As it did, she saw the light hiding deep inside of him. From then on, whenever Gloria felt her light dimming and her heart shrinking from the hurts and ugliness of this land, I almost made it through. She remembered the light in her own heart. And whenever other people acted as though the world were a dark place, she looked deeper into their hearts and saw the light hidden there. As they saw their own light reflected in her eyes, their sadness was healed. Through the years, many hearts opened to Gloria's light. It spread from one person to another until finally the whole world was alight with love. The land of darkness again became the land of light. When Gloria's work was finished, she died, leaving her old body behind. Gloria herself returned at last to the land of light, there where there was great rejoicing. Love you too, Joe. Hey, Beth, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. So again, this is called Remember the Light. It's by Mary Pat Fischer, but I don't think it's in print anymore. So I think you can find, resale copies. But I highly recommend having this one around for the reminder. For the reminder of the light in our own hearts, and the reminder that how easy it is for us to hide our light away in a world that we perceive as scary, in the world that we perceive as difficult and dark. My brain is arguing right now about what you water grows and what you give all of your attention to, what you feed becomes who you are. No, where are you going, brain? Argue for your limitations, and indeed they are yours. You're right. The world is dark and scary. Or you're right. The world is full of light, and all that darkness, all that pain, all that suffering is just turning away from the light that already exists in the universe, already exists within us, outside of us, all around us. Oh, does it? I'll have to check. I'll have to check what your post was, Ashley. Ooh. Did I tell you guys about the Discord yet? Because I'm really excited about the Discord. That's all my brain keeps doing is talk about the Discord. No, I won't, because I already said something about it. Go join the Discord. Workshops. I've got new workshops on their way out. I think the next big workshop is going to be the chakra workshop, because I've been really wanting to do the energetic hygiene workshop. And I think I'm going to use the energetic hygiene workshop as a way to expand upon the chakra workshop that I did last year. So I like to expand them every year and make them bigger and better and bulkier and more beautiful and bah. Sorry, I needed one more B. I don't know. You guys want to read one more? One of these short stories? Oh, that was the other thing. So I did, let me see if he's hanging out. Okay. So, I discovered some stuff recently about TikTok, and about content and things like that, and lives, and why things are possibly getting hidden. So I just wanted to alert y'all, right? If you are a follower of mine and you receive a direct message with one of my videos in it, I'm trying to trick the algorithm. So would you do me a favor when you see that video? All you have to do is watch 30 seconds of it. You don't have to watch more if you don't want to. But it would really, really, really help me if you would watch 30 seconds, at least 30 seconds of it. Like, comment, save, share, do all the things with it and whatnot. And even if you can, send it to another person. I guess what's happening right now is the algorithm is sending it to not my followers, anywhere between 5% to less than 0.1%, like 0.03% see my videos. Why? I guess the algorithm just is pushing them out to not followers. So if you do follow me because you like my content, please go and interact with my content. Please share my content. You too. Okay, so share your stuff with me too, and feel free to cross, because I'm happy to do this for you too. But I was told last night by support that given a couple of tips for how to basically train the algorithm. That way we're not fighting the algorithm. So that said, if you guys can help me do that, that would be really fantastic. If you see a video message from me, that's what that's about. I don't mean to harass you, and it's, yeah. And if you want me to help share some of your stuff too, I am a huge fan of community marketing. This is the new economy, guys. This is the new earth, right? It's not the old, what were these folks in here yelling about MLM? It is not gotcha, bait and switch marketing anymore. It is not, I am all out for myself and I'm going to raise my prices higher than anybody else. It is not about sending ridiculously long emails or sending somebody to an absurdly long web page just to scroll all the way fucking down to the bottom and then still have to click somewhere else to get a price for what you're selling, right? We're not trying to manipulate people, because we are collectively the product of a couple of generations now of intentional manipulation. And it would be the antithesis of what we're trying to do to engage in said marketing. Because why are we practicing mindfulness? Why weave mindfulness into our everyday lives? Well, to gain more awareness of the present moment, right? And of ourselves, right? Well, why do we want to do that? Why? Because when I am aware of my inner workings and aware of my perceptions and biases and judgments and all these things, then I am actually more in the captain's seat. I am the driver of my life and my vehicle, right? If I remain unaware, in fact, the more I argue for my limited reality, the more I fight to keep it compartmentalized exactly how I expect it to be, the more susceptible I am to being manipulated. It is just basic psychology. And the scary thing is you can go online right now and you can enroll in a college course that is called How to Manipulate Your Audience. Why? Because it's like the majority of marketing, and they've been doing it since the 50s. So it's not a new concept, but it is something that at least a number of us, right, are waking up to and recognizing, hey, you know what? I want to decide what's for dinner, not the billboard. I want to decide what I wear and what colors I like, not the magazine, right? I want to decide who I'm voting for, not be manipulated into being misinformed about what's available, right? We are in a time in our collective evolution where it's imperative that we start to cultivate a sense of presence and a sense of personal awareness and a sense of personal responsibility. And the skills. So if we've never worked on that, if we've never tried to cultivate these things, we don't always start off out the gate, right? You're not born with good communication skills, not at all. In fact, you don't fucking have any, right? So you've got to actually learn these. We've got to cultivate these. We've got to study these even and practice these. So one of the things that I was really all excited about before I got off the phone with my Harmony handlers, thanks, Anthony. We were talking about using this Discord space as a platform for these kinds of discussions, for the difficult discussions, the big discussions, a space to ask questions without somebody saying, I can't believe you don't know that, right? And giving you the kind of arrogant attitude that a lot of people like to cop when somebody comes and asks a question. But it is far more responsible and mature to approach the situation and acknowledge your ignorance, right? There are things that I am ignorant about, so I don't approach them with arrogance. I don't approach them from a place of being the end-all, be-all, right? Being an expert in something that I either have no or little experience with. So learning the tools like active listening tools, nonviolent communication tools, learning the tools to communicate my opinions and ideas effectively without weaponizing them and without belittling or putting down the other people. So this is something that I intentionally studied. I went to college for this shit, right? Language, how to actually do these things. When I discovered this I was like 8 years old when we were going to therapy, and it was the first time that somebody said, like, there are rules for this. There are communication guidelines. And I was like, there's a fucking rule book? You mean I can learn how to do this right? Virgo brain. So I spent many years studying these tools in the hopes that, as a little girl, I was like, well, I'm going to teach the world. I want to teach the world. I want to share this with the world so that we can stop having fucking wars because y'all can't sit down at a damn table and make an agreement about shit. Sorry. Hi, Ricky. Hey, Frequency, awesome. Well, give me a follow and I'm going to follow you right back and we should chat more about it because, there we go. I was just talking about our Discord space. We have just opened up a Discord space. Thank you for the follow, friend. And there's the inner temple of this space that we use as our mindfulness community, as our Sangha, as our... It's called the CAYA Sangha, and this is where we practice mindfulness together. And we deep dive into the practices of mindfulness, into all aspects of mindfulness, not just this kind of. I'm a non-denominational reverend, so I bring that to the table as well. But outside of that Sangha is what we call our CAYA courtyard. And I would really, it is something I have wanted to do since I was a little girl. I would like to host a space and facilitate these discussions so that people can learn the tools to effectively communicate not only what they have to say, but also so they can effectively receive what someone else has to say. Because you guys know the anecdote, right? 3 blind men wanted to meet an elephant for the first time in their lives. So the king brought in an elephant to the courtyard. And the first man walked up to the elephant at the trunk, at his face, and took the trunk in his arms and pulled it through, his hands here and went, oh, wow, an elephant is like a snake. It's like an anaconda, a big, fat, heavy snake. Well, another one walked up to the side of the elephant, said, a snake? Puts his hands on the elephant's side and says, this thing's as broad as a house. What are you talking about, a snake? And the third one, being a little shorter than the other two, comes around to the leg of the elephant and wraps his arms around it. And he goes, wall? Snake? This is a tree. This thing's like a tree trunk. And it must be rooted, right? It can't even lift it up. And the 3 men go on arguing about whose perspective is correct. Just because the world looks one way from where I stand doesn't mean that the world that you see is wrong. In fact, it behooves me to hear what you have to say so that I get the opportunity, the once in a lifetime opportunity, to see it from your perspective. Because the reality is, unless I learn to really understand, really try to perceive, really listen, really take in what you are sharing, I will never see the world from that perspective. In fact, you are the only person who has that perspective. So if I want to understand reality and by proxy understand myself, I need to see as many perspectives as possible. And I think it's something that we forget. We get so stuck in ego. We get so stuck in our fear of anything outside of our perception. And we feel challenged, right, by other people having different perceptions. And it's such a, I know I use the word a lot, but I feel like it is. It's such a travesty. It's such a unnecessary weakness that so many of us, castles made of sand. Yes, it is such a, the whole game of like trying to force people into a box, trying to push and I'm reading a book right now called Power versus Force. There's a difference. As a parent, as any of you who have kids, that you can either fucking force your kids to physically fucking force them to do shit, or you've got to figure out a way to, well, for lack of a better word, maintain the power in the situation. Or, and this is where we're evolving to, right? Where we can collectively share that power so that we can all thrive. Not me taking power from you so that I can get one up on you. That's not how we thrive. That's how we destroy ourselves. So, if any of that is interesting to you, go join me on the Discord. Discord. There's a link in my bio for Patreon. I have patreon.com/move with change. On that page is a link to join the free Discord CAYA community, the CAYA Sangha space. Again, I'm playing with the wording. So we have the whole CAYA community, we have the CAYA courtyard, and then we have the CAYA Sangha within that. Ricky, you know what? I will be honest with you. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be president. If you asked me what I was going to be, I said first woman president, and I still have that chance. And there is a gal who is local to the Pacific Northwest who is actually running right now, and she needs a running mate. And it crossed my mind to contact her and be like, let's fucking do this. But the reality is that I don't think at this point that this system can be changed from the inside. And I mean, yes, we need people on the inside to change the system, but the most radical thing that we can do has nothing to do with voting. The most radical thing that we can do is to cultivate community, is to cultivate the skills to understand and be with each other genuinely, to respect, to love each other genuinely. Hold on.
He said,
what?
Can I see if my mom's in the car? I said, no.
No.
He looked at me. Yeah, she's in the car.
Giving him a hard time.
All right, man. I'll see you.
Okay, my son's out. So all of that said, guys, if you want to know what nonviolent communication is, come to the Discord. If you want to find out what this whole, what I'm calling mindful dissent, because again, this is how we make a change. The most radical things that we can do is to love and accept ourselves where we're at, without judgment, without shame, without guilt, without any of the bullshit that gets piled on you that tells you you're small and weak and broken, right? Because that's a bunch of baloney. I think we got to make sure the individual is safe. Those freedoms got to be protected. I'm down for the Discord. Where do they happen? Okay, so frequency, go to my profile, the content right here on TikTok. In my bio, I've got a Patreon link. If you click that link, I don't know exactly where it is, but I'm pretty sure it's on the front page somewhere. There is a little post that says join our Discord. If you want to just send me a message, if you get lost in that, you can also just send me a message here and I will send you the link directly. That goes for anybody else too. If you guys just want the direct link, I can send you that. Remember that the CAYA courtyard is the outer community, right? It's the outer space, it's the public space where I'm hoping to create a kind of public square where we can have these discussions, where we can meet each other for tea, right? With love and respect. This is not a place where we're creating battles. And so much, I mean, TikTok literally has battles, but this is a different kind of battle. So much of that do I see on here. And we are only perpetuating our own weakness. We are only perpetuating our own division, right? We, as a collective, are extremely powerful without even needing to be forceful. We are powerful. They need force and manipulation to keep us from that power, from standing in our power. Awesome frequency. Yeah, there you go, Ashley. Just scroll down a little. So, here comes my kid. We're going to go get groceries. By the time I get out of the grocery store and get my groceries home and put in the fridge, I hope to see some of y'all in the Discord. Whoa, I'm moving the stuff for you.
Thank you.
I hope to see some of y'all in the Discord. And as soon as I get home, I'm going to send you a message and be like, oh my God, you made it, you're here. Beware. I warned you. There's shenanigans.
Got everything done before I went to MMA.
Good job.
Okay.
Yep, you did great.
But a little overtime.
That's okay, we made it.
Yeah.
All right.
Still, and it was only 2 people today.
Yeah, but that's nice. You and your buddy get direct one-on-one time with the teacher, huh?
Yeah.
All right, guys. I love you so much. Today is Thursday. That means we have tiny yoga. Tomorrow morning, tiny yoga. I will be posting a new schedule to the top of my content as soon as I get it finished. So keep an eye out for that. But if you have any questions about when classes are, you can find that info in Discord too. Or you can also just send me a message. Tiny yoga, 10 a.m. PST, Pacific time, tomorrow morning. Yes. And if you miss it, replays are also on YouTube. Hey, Corey, how are you? I'm just leaving. You missed it. We read a book. We read an adorable little book, one of my faves. But the replay is on YouTube. It will be shortly when I put it up there. Also, Corey, come join our Discord. I'll send you a link directly, but you can also go get it on Patreon if you use Discord. I'm really excited about it, and it's got a bunch of cool features, and I am like absurdly in love with it, and I'm really hoping to cultivate more than just my mug there. I'd like to bring a lot more people in. 10 a.m., 8 yours. Thank you, Corey. No, I think, so it's 10 a.m. Pacific time, so 11 Mountain, 12 Central, 1 Eastern. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you guys later. And I'll see you in the Discord. Thank you guys so much for the gifts, for the love, for the support, for hanging out.